You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming, and stuff you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you. Let's play episode of Kingsguard, Koshiro's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. You looked around and didn't see anywhere you could go. You had to act fast, make a drastic decision. Take a hostage, become a hostage. Take a hostage, become a hostage. Take a hostage, become a hostage. I'll become a hostage. That'd be funny as hell. You held onto your blade even tighter, your hands in pain from your skin stretching taut over your knuckles. Your eyes then looked down at the blade in your hand, then back over at Koshiro before you decided. The blade was twisted around in your hand as you pointed it at yourself, poking into your neck, causing you to wince in pain. Koshiro, I won't play this game any longer. Call all of your people or I'll... You almost choked on your words. There's no way you could go through with this. He would see right through your bluff, but you had no other choice. I'll kill myself! The White Wolf didn't seem fazed one bit, neither did the approaching guards. He knew you were lying. They knew you were lying. Yet despite all odds, he rose up his hands in defiance. Halt! The wolves all looked a bit confused, but Koshiro kept his hand up and they stopped. My king, do not joke around with your life so. It is not a toy to play with. I'm not joking, and I'm not playing around. I really will do it. Koshiro stepped forth, waving away from the stage and approaching you. You callously ignored your demands like he was king of the world. Stop! He kept going forward. I'm serious, It took the wolf no time at all to clear the distance. A soft, warm hand gently pressed your arm down and the dagger away from your throat. My king, that is enough. Do not throw away your life. It is far more precious than you can ever imagine. Then what about Koshiro? You pulled your arm away from Koshiro and gained some distance. He has committed a grave crime in our village and has been branded a traitor. And what would that be? He tried to kidnap you against your will, knocking you unconscious and was going to take you out of the safety of the village. Had his plan succeeded, your very life would have been in danger. What kind of danger? Answer me! You weren't certain who to point the blade to. Back at yourself? At Koshiro? As disgusted with the idea as you were, you still weren't opposed to finding someone in the crowd to take as your hostage to get something, anything out of him. You wanted answers. Everywhere outside this village is a danger to you. The assassins are still searching day and night. That is the danger you face. You think I don't already know that? How could I forget that they murdered my father and attempted to kill me too? And you should realize the severity of attempting to take you out of the village. You are far safer here than anywhere else in the world. Don't lie to me! Koshiro couldn't hide the distress he was in after the two of you talked alone. So what did the two of you talk about? If anything, that is the sole reason why I went through all this. Gaius. What about him? We have just now learned of his location. The man who caused all this. The one behind the assassinations and the murder of your father. They found him? We can put an end to this reign of terror. One swift blow to strike down the evil that threatens not only the kingdom, but our own village. Then why aren't you out there taking him down, then? It is not so easy. Gaius is a slippery snake. He has eluded us time and time again. We have learned of his location, but we still do not know where exactly he is. Merely an area he was last spotted in. We already have a plan in place to end him, but it requires something, or rather someone, to accomplish. You stepped away from Koshiro in revelation. You knew exactly where this was going to lead. He is a greedy man. He will stop at nothing if the chance arises to strike you down, but even he doesn't know where you are. We will present him with that opportunity, something so enticing he won't be able to ignore. We will coax the snake out from his hole, and once he has bared his fangs, we will sever his head and end his campaign of terror. Katan, I think you can understand what I mean. You nearly dropped your blade. You mean to... You could barely believe they were going to use you in such a way, without even telling you. Do not fret, your highness. You will not be in any harm. Our best men, including my own self, will be there to watch over you. This is a mission we will not fail. No. Unbelievable. You really expect me to just go along with such a plan like this? Without even telling me? I know of your short temper, Katan. This was something you would disapprove of, but I assure you You're just like him! Just like my father when he used to decide everything for me. I see that even being king now, that hasn't changed a thing. I still have even an ounce of control over my own life. We are talking about saving the lives of thousands of innocents, my king. With Gaius' death, this war will end before it begins. I can see why Koshiro would have disregarded such a plan. I thought he would have done the right thing, to serve his village, but he had other things in mind. such as keeping me safe. From what I see, what you are planning is no more dangerous than fleeing this insane village. Regardless, now you know. He stared at him incredulously, taking another step back when he took a step forth. I'll escort you to a safe house so you can get some rest. He stared over at Koshiro, who still hadn't said anything. For all his bravado earlier, why hadn't he moved? Why hadn't he said anything? You couldn't honestly believe he was going to go through with this. Koshiro, you promised me that you would save me. Yet here you are, hunched over like that. Are you really planning on ending your life and leaving me here with these psychos? Koshiro! Why was he doing this? Why was he not coming to your aid? Was everything he said before just a lie? Truthfully, I was hoping you would have a suggestion. All that build-up for nothing? You're supposed to be the expert here, right? I thought a little anticipation is just what we need. Alright. Gold is what most typically bet with, but that doesn't really mean much here. How about the loser has to do one thing requested by the winner? No questions asked. No backing out. Interesting. Well, I was wondering when this was going to come back. Interesting. Any single favor, then? It's not just a favor we're talking about here. It's more like a command. Whatever the winner asks, the loser must do. Does that sound reasonable? Most certainly. I will revel in winning this. It appears that you've won the bet. That I have. So is there anything you want to ask of me? For now, I'll think about it. You hadn't decided what it is that you wanted. You will just have to wait to find out. You couldn't give up, and you couldn't let him give up now. Koshiro! You still owe me, you know, for that game of cards I won. One favor, no questions asked, no backing out. Koshiro's ears stirred. From now on, you are to be my Kingsguard. The fox looked up from his blade and into your eyes. And as Kingsguard, your life is mine, and until I relieve you of word, you must protect me at all costs. Do you know what that means? You are not allowed to die unless I say so. Katan. That is my request. I want it fair and square. You can't say no. Koshiro! You saw the weight of everything he shouldered in his own eyes. The fact that he was abandoning this village, becoming a traitor. He was one who always followed the rules, was never one to waver. You wanted to take away all that responsibility from him. With hands stretched out, you spoke to him without words, begging him to come to your aid and yours to him. Yes, my liege. Koshiro rose from his spot and flipped the knife around in his paws. Koshiro, what are you doing? Protecting the king as his Kingsguard. You're in the middle of being tried by the village, by the gods. This is not something you can turn your back on. Get back down. The first time since you were here, you saw Koshiro break that cold, complacent stare that he had. There was fire in his eyes, and he bared his teeth in anger. This is not my village, and they are not my gods. You heard numerous gasps escape the crowd, likely in part his rejection of their gods. Koshiro! I've made up my mind, Elder. I'm through with following along with the whims of this village. I want to live my life how I want to. I will keep Katan safe, now and forever. And to do that, I have to get him out of here. As he said, death is not an option I am given. The two wolves at Koshiro's side were ready to take a step forward, but the fierce look in the fox's eyes halted their movement. Even the wolf behind him to aid in this horrible ritual was taken aback. It almost seemed like they were now afraid of him, despite outnumbering him and being twice his size. You'd fight against us? Elder, I'd kill even you to keep Katan safe. A moment of silence passed. No one moved, no one breathed, no one blinked. Very well. The words that came from Seshuo's mouth were colder than the Havana Bay in winter. His fearsome and angry tone shifted to one more unsettling. To put the king before the very village that raised you to who you are today, I do not know whether to be proud or disappointed. Koshiro, you know full well of your actions and still stand by them, but that has branded you as a traitor. The elder took a few steps back and cracked his neck a few times. Oh shit! Oh dear. Koshiro removed the top half of his robe to free himself from the confines of his clothes. What you saw was not a kindly, decrepit old man, though. Even in his age, his body was still well developed. Rippling muscles, easily larger than Koshiro, maybe even Leandro's, caused Koshiro, and even your own self to go wide-eyed in astonishment. And that wasn't even getting to his scars, etched all across his body that it put even Ramos and Koshiro to shame. He held in his hand 2 daggers, and he stood in a deadly stance that even Koshiro looked to shake in fear. But it is my own fault that you have turned out this way, so I will take full responsibility. Koshiro, I will not hold back, but know that I will bring you as swift and as painless death as possible. A tense moment stretched out for minutes as neither side moved. Koshiro had to be careful. Seshiro may have been old, but even you could tell that the smallest slip would end the fox. But just as their muscles tensed, their eyes winced. A strong breeze blew through the center of and the torches all went out. With just the moon to light the ground, you could barely see anything other than the glowing eyes of the surrounding beastmen. It took a moment for your eyes to adjust to the darkness, but you could already tell that they were nearly ready to clash. Koshiro, you had to keep your mouth closed. You couldn't distract him in any way. A sound resounded through the night upon the streets, bringing with it an eerie yet calming presence. You felt slightly sick to your stomach, your head a bit stuffed up. The sword at your side started to become restless again, glowing for just a moment before the paper talisman settled it down. The crowd began to part before a familiar face. Several whispered amongst themselves again and caught a few words such as, "She's here," and "The goddess?" As they came into the circle, every village folk except Seshiro and Koshiro bowed down, their eyes so concentrated on one another and muscles stiff. The shaman's movements were, as you remembered, smooth like gliding on an icy floor. When she came to a stop, she stared at the three of you one by one, with her stopping directly at you. "What are you doing out of your temple, shaman? You know it isn't safe for you out here." Despite the amount of piety that the rest of the village showed for the priestess, Seshiro kept his eyes firmly on Koshiro. His voice curt, yet somehow staying respectful. "I would not have had to leave my village if it wasn't for your lack of reasoning, Seshiro." The shaman showed him the same courtesy by keeping her own eyes on you, speaking softly as though she were to herself. The intensity of her gaze almost had you believing she was staring right into your mind. But why you? Right now the attention should have been on the two of the beastmen, about to go at each other's throats. What? Finally, she managed to tear her eyes away from you and look directly at the White Wolf. "I know everything, Seshiro. I've seen it many times. This plan of yours is nothing more than a folly." Alright, I gotta pause it right there, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!